Absolute Batman continues his battle with Bane as Bane sets out to do once again what Bane is kind of known for doing, which is breaking Batman. We've got Absolute Batman to talk about and a host of other great books this week on Pals Pulls. And to talk about these books, we've got Marco,
Celsius! But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Tyler,
I don't know if you're gonna make fetch happen there, Marco. I don't get it. I appreciate the enthusiasm though.
It was a reference to the part of the book.
Did you catch it, Sean?
I don't know what he's talking about.
All right, we'll get there.
All right.
And I'm Sean. Thank you guys for being here, whether you are live or in the future. You make sure that you hit that like button, smash it, in fact, if you are ready to hear us talk about this week's books. Speaking of this week's books, we've got some hot ones on the docket today. We've got the aforementioned Absolute Batman, number 10.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. We are up in the tens now.
Double digits.
Yes, we made it. We made it. Absolute Flash, number 5. The New Gods, number 8. And I did have to
Ooh.
I had to get the big Barda
That's the good
variant. I
one.
hate doing the card stocks,
Nice.
but
Oh, it's like an extra $1, right?
Well,
it is.
extra dollar
It
for
is.
Gooner Brain. That's not an extra dollar. That's just normal at that point.
But who is that on the variant?
Javier Rodriguez.
That's a good
Javier
question.
Fernet? No, Rodriguez maybe. I think it's Javier Rodriguez.
I don't know. It looks like it could be. It looks like it could be Rodriguez. He is listed as a variant cover
Okay.
artist here. So
It is Javier Rodriguez. Yep.
But yeah, this wasn't even Gooner for me. This is just Barda. Like I just love
Sure,
Big Barda,
yeah.
so had to go with
I
this
like
one. Also, of course, Battle Beast number 3, Imperial number 2, The World to Come number 2, and a book that I wasn't able to get. I don't know if you guys were able to, but the X-Men Age of Revelations book.
Yeah.
Digitally,
So-
yes. Which is, I
Digitally,
guess.
Yeah, well, yeah,
proof
I forget who I'm speaking.
Yeah.
My shop did not have any copies.
You're not the only one though. I heard that from the couple people in the Discord. It was
Yeah.
hit or miss for some people.
All right, let's kick things off with Absolute Batman number 10. This is, of course, written by Scott Snyder, who there are some big announcements surrounding Snyder and what's to come from him. We're going to talk about that a lot on Saturday's show. Nick Dragotta on the artwork, Frank Martin on the colors, letters by Clayton Cowles. Bane is big. Bane is big, and Bane is way bigger than I think we had any idea of. We keep getting these title pages that are absolutely disgusting.
Hell yeah.
Embryonic sack that is Killer Croc. Ugh.
Gross.
I am loving it. I am loving this book. I'm so here for it.
That page, that double page spread, which it was on Pal's previews, I think, it looks like the Arkham version of that Filipino delicacy.
Balut?
Balut, yeah. It was Arkham Balut.
Ew. Okay. Ew. Yeah.
It's grosser now, right?
Yeah. Now that you say that.
Well, what did you think of this issue?
Oh boy.
Oh.
That was a good oh boy. Should I have been like, oh boy? Is that more cheery? I don't know. I really, really liked this issue. This was it. This was almost my pick of the week. In fact, it might actually be. I don't know. I'm flip flopping in the moment. We'll know by the end of the discussion. But I really enjoy this. I loved how this was a dissection into who this Bruce Wayne is and what lengths he's willing to go to still be Batman, essentially. Like this is a Bruce that is a machine. And the whole issue deals with him in Arkham being, tortured by and experimented on by these Arkham professors, which I think is actually is it Abigail Arkham, the daughter that's more prominent in DC Comics? She
I'm
has
not sure.
an A name, I believe. But she's getting tortured. He's getting tortured throughout this experiment on, put through trials. He escapes multiple times, like a pet hamster I used to have in grade school, um, and he has to like escape this labyrinth. Essentially, it's essentially they're actually doing a labyrinth story in an Absolute book that's not Wonder Woman, even though Wonder
Yeah.
Woman has been talking about that. It really explodes what Batman's rogues is going to be and what this world is. And what it lets us know is that Absolute Batman is kind of a horror book. It is like an action horror book, and I really like this. The bit that I liked in here that I'm always looking for in Absolute Batman is why do I care about this Batman? What makes him different than mainline Batman? And there's a part of this right off the bat where Batman's unmasked being experimented on in Arkham, and I'm like, that would never happen. But he's not Bruce Wayne. He is Bruce Wayne here, but Bruce Wayne is a nobody. So the fact that he's unmasked doesn't mean anything to anyone.
It's a good point.
And he's just average Joe, and that kind of proved it in this issue. Because if this was mainline, we know Bruce Wayne is the billionaire playboy is Batman. Nah, it's just some 6'9", 400 and something pound guy instead. Which, like, if Batman's that big, how big actually is Bane? What's the scale we're going on here?
Huge.
And I just really like this. It felt like a roguelike in a way, like a roguelike side-scroller game where you constantly escape, you lose a level at the boss, you have to go back, but you know the route that you took last time so you can get further. Man, I had a lot of fun with this one.
The Batman feels like Absolute Batman feels like a known quantity now. Like I know that I'm gonna come here. I left this to be one of the last books I read because I know I'm gonna have a good time. I know I'm gonna enjoy the story. I know I'm gonna enjoy the art. And so for me, this wasn't pick of the week, but it was a great issue to get into and to see like this house of horrors that Bruce has to go through these trials and tribulations. And man, uh, Scott loves him putting Batman through the fucking ringer of like, be it this, the Court of Owls. Like he likes getting him isolated, trapped, and kind of going insane a bit. I did feel a little bit about. I did feel that quite a bit in this issue, but it's a theme that Scott likes and I think does well. And here we also get to see some of the things that maybe we get in the future. Like I started to get to see how this could play out and grow from here. So I really enjoyed the world building, even though we were self-contained in Arc M. We got to see other aspects and we got to see other rogues and we got to just explore these aspects, which I thought were really cool. And Dragotta doing these gross images, man. I love how he can turn like eyeballs freakishly just disgusting.
Mhm.
There's so much here of just like being stared at or him staring out into the void as well that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, man, this is another banger. Um, this team has been delivering consistently on just every aspect of this. It does things, that surprise you that you can only do with a version of Bruce that is not mainline Bruce. And it switches up the other characters in interesting ways too. I mean, the Clayface monster thing we get here, that's insane.
I actually have it up on the screen. It's disgusting.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting. And I love these twists and turns that we're taking. And again, it's not I don't need different for the sake of different, but these are actually interesting ideas that are being executed in ways that I am compelled by. And so I'm just really interested in this series and what Scott has in store for it. Um this Batman continues to show different aspects of himself. Like he took out his teeth. He took out his teeth. What are we
Buck wild.
reading?
Not only that, he changed his stomach feeding tube to shoot out his own stomach bile and made bombs out of his piss and shit.
Like, what the fuck?
I've been dropping bombs
MacGyver.
before, but not literally like this. Jeez.
He just whips shit up. He literally MacGyver's all this kind of thing, and I like that resourcefulness. It feels like he's just so scrappy about this, but he's just huge, like hulking monster.
And
And it all go ahead.
I was gonna say it's also like a big, like one of the cool things too about this world is that in Batman's main mythos, all these characters debuted random points throughout the lore of Batman. Um, some debuted in the Silver Age, Bronze Age. Some of them more recent Snyder creations. With the absolute is he gets to set everything at the same baseline. So if he's making this Arc M thing, everything gets kind of ciphered through the lens of Arkham. So at the advent of this Clayface, it's an Arkham thing. At the advent of this Killer Croc thing, it's an Arkham thing. Because you get to work with the foundations of this, because it's a whole new story. And I like that because there's some kind of glue keeping everything together. There's an overarching villain with the Arkham of it all. It's really good. And this whole issue is just Easter eggs galore. Like there's that one bit where Batman, the first time he walks past the incubating croc egg, where it says the doctor's name on it. It's like Helfern or something. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that sounds familiar. It was Dr. Death from Snyder's Batman run. The guy who can, like, the doctor that controls all the bones and stuff. It's like towards the latter end. It's great. I just love how we're at ground level, literally. At below ground level, actually, if we're talking Arkham. And everything is gross and everything is new to Batman. It's just a lot of fun.
I really like the there's this like visual motif that was used almost like a joke. The thoom 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 every time Bruce would escape. I thought was really funny. It didn't undercut anything, but it built this like almost like sick hilarity in the issue because every time he escapes, you get to see his little pitter patter feet away, right? And at the end of it, every time it's Bane just being like, "Try it again, go for it again, do it one more time." He wants to see it. He wants to see him make it.
Yeah, the way Bane is just like this. He's kind of like he reminds me of one of the villains from Resident Evil, like a nemesis or I think his name is Mr. X or whatever,
Yep.
where they just relentlessly hound and chase you and it's like you're getting through the level, you think you're, doing just fine, and here's this motherfucker in a hat yet again to just ruin your day. And that's the role that Bane plays here. He's the spoiler. And it just feels like Bruce has no control. Like no matter how um clever he is, no matter how many different ways he can whip up his piss to do different things, it's just like Bane is always there. And this is horrifying. This issue reminded me a lot of the Court of Owls, one of the early issues of Court of Owls, where it's Bruce versus this court, and he's drugged and he's unsure of himself and he doesn't know what's going on. This reminds me a lot of that.
And Dragotta is just killing it in this. Dragotta takes roots in his art that I feel like most artists wouldn't. There's the one page I have up here too, where Batman, it's when he finally gets put on the suit again, when he escapes and he fights Bane, and you would expect that to mostly be big panels, big drag him out brawling panels, and sure there are some of that, but then he chooses to do again like those like smaller panels that I feel like he can do strangely. Like there's a one panel in the middle of this entire fight sequence between Bane and Batman that isn't even anything that you see. It's just the motif of the veins and the venom and blood that's in Bane's tube, and it's right in the middle of the page, and everything else is circulating around it. All the action is circulating around it. I thought it was so good, but it's still boxy. Like it's still panel boxes. It's just a lot of fun. Like there's just these are huge characters he's drawing in kind of thumbnail sized boxes, which I think is just different and not the way another artist would really tackle this, and it makes it distinctly Dragotta.
I love that you have this page up because I was gonna shout this out. The energy that Dragotta is able to capture and translate from panel to panel. The top panel here is literally the wind up of the kick. You can feel how it is based on how it's moving, and then the pulse of the venom, like you called out, Tyler, and then it releases, and you hear that crack, and it bleeds out of the page. Like he understands what you're doing here to communicate maximum force.
And there's a lot of speed lines in his art.
Yeah.
There's more speed lines in his art that I think is typically more seen in manga than American comics. Like the wind up. Like you only can tell he's winding up because there's speed lines in it. It distorts the art a bit. There's speed
Yep.
lines, and whenever Bane is whacking him, or when Batman gets thrown into the glass, it helps add that momentum to it. Yeah.
I've been singing the praises of Nick Dragotta on this book, as most people have from day one. I just think that every choice he makes is just excellent. I love the claustrophobia of this issue, and the way all that sort of leads into that big one-page spread where Batman finally puts the costume on and he's back to business, which is just beautiful. And then again, like as cool as those small panels are, when he lets things get big and expansive, it just knocks my socks off. This double pager of Batman riding Killer Croc is just insane. Like, what
Hell
the
yeah.
fuck?
He just hit level 20. He got his first mount. It's great. Good for him.
That's insane, dude. Like, what is happening?
It's like the mouth of it is just continuing his teeth all the way through, like halfway through the chest or something.
Oh my god.
They're all just lab experiments gone wrong. That's what all of this is.
Yeah.
Marco, did you pop for the green?
Yeah, bro. I was just about to say that, dude. We can say here confidently confirmed. The Comics Pals are confirming that Swamp Thing will appear in the Absolute Universe. We're saying it right here, right now.
Well, okay, hold on now.
I did pop for that. I think there are implications there of like that they're willing to explore in this title and subsequent titles. And so, like for me, my mind is going. He's gonna help. He's gonna defeat Bane. They're gonna break everything out of Arc M, and now it's kind of like we gotta wrangle the monsters back in or something, or like maybe solve, figure out like how to cure these people, etc.
Do you
And
think
if that's the case,
it causes like a raft level breakout and all these monsters then are unleashed? Oh, interesting. Yeah.
yeah, that's where I think that this might be going. And if that's the case, and we get to touch on the Isley of it all, then cool. I'm excited for that kind of future. But if not, I'm glad that we get this in the universe.
Yeah, is she the experiment or is she the doctor? You know?
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
Easy pull. Not my pick of the week, but definitely a pull. Strong issue, as they all have been, I think.
Oh,
Venomous
interesting.
pull.
I don't know what your pick of the week is then. Okay. I like to try to
could
guess
make-
what you guys' pick of the weeks are before we go live, but okay.
It may come as a surprise.
Huh.
Easy pull for me though. Easy.
Oh,
easy
not pick of the
pull.
week?
Yeah. No. Nope. I've come to terms with what my pick of the week is.
Yeah.
Let's see where the audience lies on that spectrum. You guys say 51% pull, 36% pick of the week. Didn't buy or read is 9%, and pass is 1%. Those are the kind of numbers that I think I want to see for this book. Let's start recognizing these elite books as such. You guys, that's 87% of you saying pull. That is overwhelming.
That is a 90% positive.
Holy shit.
Let's
Yeah,
You guys
go.
are
That one
absolutely
pass.
out.
The one pass is a misclick. I bet you.
I mean, yeah, possible. That was a cat on a keyboard, maybe.
yeah. That's crazy.
Clayton Bergstrom here says, first time Bane has had this level of aura since Nightfall, I swear.
He had his moments during Tom King's run, but
Yeah, he might have just killed Alfred in front of a child. You know, it's fine. I don't know if that's aura farming, though. It's just farming bodies at that point.
yeah, this is I'm loving that Bane is getting this kind of recognition too, because Bane is an incredible villain. Love Bane. J3 says, "Hey pals, I'm typically listening on replays and podcasts, but wanted to pop in and drop a like. Can't wait to hear the rest of the show on replay. Thank you, J3. Appreciate you, dude.
With the Zdarsky Daredevil profile picture there. Cool.
Hell yeah.
Someone has some taste.
You guys need to break lurk more often. Don't just lurk. Join in on the fun.
Break lurk.
Yeah.
Within the past
Surface.
within the past week, there's like multiple people who I know, like IRL, who are like, "Yeah, I was listening," and I was like, "Wait, what? Huh?"
That you don't know, listen.
Yeah, Yeah. I had a friend was like, "Hey, where'd you get that hat you were wearing on that Superman review?" I'm like, "Hold on, I didn't post a Superman review. You must be a subscriber." Okay.
you,
Sick.
you click the bell.
All right. Let's get into Absolute Flash. Number 5. This was actually the listener pick of the week. You guys voted for this in the Pals Pulls poll, which I was a little surprised by. I'm not going to lie, but that's okay. It's your call. This week though, the options that you have available to you, and I hope you guys will go over and vote. That's on the YouTube channel under the post tab. We should always be able to get over 500 votes. So if you didn't vote last week, make sure you cast your vote this week. If you voted last week, make sure you cast your vote this week. Your options are Amazing Spider-Man number 8, Ice Cream Man 44, Green Lantern 25, and Uncanny X-Men 18. I want to get Ice Cream Man on the show. And I'm not going to force it into the docket because there's a lot of competition. So it's going to be up to you guys to vote for it. If you want us to read it, one of the best indie books on the stands right now, let's do it. Otherwise, we'll probably just end up reading Green Lantern. But it's up to you.
Is that what's winning right now?
And right now
It's just Green Lantern. So
It literally just went up as we said
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's got 2 votes, 50-50 split between Spider-Man and Uncanny.
Okay, not a good start for good old Ice Cream Man. He might be melting at the polls.
We'll give it time. We'll give it time.
Yeah.
D'Lo Retrospect says, I cannot keep supporting that book. Already dropped it, and Absolute Flash was the one I was hyped for. Well, why? Why'd you drop it? Let's talk. Well, we've got to talk about the book, and maybe we're on the verge of dropping it too. Who knows? This is written by one Jeff Lemire, with art by A. Al Kaplan, colors by Adriano Lucas, letters by Tom Napolitano. Flash is, if you can believe this, on the run. He is on the run.
As he is wont to do most of the time.
But you got to get that sound effect, Tyler.
He is running from some goo, some orange goo that speaks and makes noises, and it is the help of none other than Grodd that allows Wally to sort of, find his courage and deal with this situation somehow. We've got some guest appearances here as well. Roy Palmer makes an appearance, and there's some shit at the end that I didn't recognize. All said, I don't know if I care about this book.
I'm down on this book. I've been down on this book. I think this has been the least favorite so far, and I feel like the art change here in particular felt very distinct and threw me off. That's probably where I had the biggest gripe. There were some moments where, from a like the eyes caught me. These lashes on people's eyes. They had makeup on. Some of the designs, the monster didn't look all that menacing. I don't know. I had some problems with just the way that people also were structured, like their body. Things felt very like loose here, and I wasn't enjoying the art. I liked Robles when he was on it, and so I preferred that. I got accustomed to it. So surprised to see this. And then on the story front, I mean, there were some moments that took me out of the book, where like the girl with the mask is talking to Lisa, and she just kind of like pulls up on her. I'll take you apart, bitch. These interactions just felt forced a lot of the time. The like people being afraid in these situations, and Wally coming in to help them just felt forced as well. His disagreements with them, I had a lot of problems with this book.
I'm not the hottest on this book, but I am liking it more and more. I actually, as much as I like Nick Robles' art, I think it's like really, really good art. I like how this art is distinctly different than mainline DC. This art feels like it would much be more in line for like a YA DC, book that would be at a Scholastic Fair. Um, it's a lot. The colors are super flat. It feels cartoony. I mean, Mark, you mentioned the eyelashes, but the eyelashes were like used in expression. There's at one point where I think it's
Mm.
Ralph. He's shocked to see Wally, and then his eyes bug out, and it's almost like he's emoting with his eyes, and the way they draw that. Um, I dig that. I like this. It's different, and I think I prefer this art than Robles, which just for what this book is, if that makes sense. Um, that being said, I'm still not entirely sure what this book is, story wise. Like Wally's still on the run, but he didn't really get that far, and he still is learning his power set. I think we can see that his power set is probably different than a Flash. It seems to have some kind of meta human electricity based static discharge, maybe. Like
Something
if
like
you're
that.
running, maybe you could disperse his static electricity in a way, which I think the Flash has done as well, using like science to come up with that. Um, so I'm intrigued, and I do like the idea that it's similar to what's happening in Absolute Batman. Like there's the government's experimented on these people, and Grodd is one of them, and now Wally is too. And Grodd wants to help these people out, and Wally, is kind of listening to Grodd in a way. I like the dynamic. It feels very coming of age kid story, like a not like a Dunstan checks in, because that was an orangutan that he had as a pet monkey, but like just the idea of like a kid and his pet trying to find their place in the world. It's kind of a classic trope that this is skewed in a superheroic kind of way. I dig this the most out of all the issues.
I said Roy Palmer earlier. I meant Ralph Dibny. Excuse me, but eh, I feel like the art was a huge detractor for me. Like some of these people look like they're fucking melting. Like they've got whatever this orange goo problem is. Like this woman right here is having a facial meltdown. Uh,
I,
there's actually multiple instances of just complete melt going on.
which I think is probably because it's heat wave, but like this is molten lava. People can't be this close to it. um, and at one point, like Wally, he like runs through the lava, but I guess if he's running fast enough, it won't touch him. I don't know. Um, I did have an issue with the logistics of this super hot thing being around just civilians, and they're fine.
And I also just really don't care about what is going on. I'm honestly completely checked out on this series, and it's weird because I love JSA and I love what Jeff is doing over there, but I just couldn't be any less interested. I don't think that he's established something um that feels exciting and compelling out the gate. Like we're two arcs in, I still don't really have a handle on who this Wally even is, why I should care about his journey. There's just too many missing pieces. And I feel like the whole series so far has just been him running around, which I know it's a flash book, but like something more than that has to happen.
And I know like there's a benefit storytelling wise to leaving us in the dark for a bit about what's going on. We'll find out in due time. But I feel like we're left in the dark with too much here. Like you're right, Sean. When you were doing your quick little synopsis, you're like, and at the end, I saw a whole bunch of shit I didn't recognize. Guess what? Neither did I. I was like, it's not Martians because you know what the Martians look like in the absolute universe. So there's too many mystery boxes.
But I feel like Green Lantern has been doing the mystery angle as well, revealing things slowly. And there I'm feeling more traction. I'm feeling the gravity of the mystery. This is, it's supposed to be stringing me along, but I don't have the tether of somebody at the center of that for me to focus on, where I can with a Joe or with a Hal and be able to understand what the like what the interactions are.
They're doing shit. They're
Yeah, that
doing
too.
things.
Or
This
or
guy's not. Yeah, go ahead.
at the very least they're like uncovering things and like we're getting to a place.
Stu's just running around. Luna, been a channel member for 9 months. Thank you so much, Luna. Says best issue so far. The Thinker Thawne reveal was awesome. I mean, great. If this was the best issue so far, then I'm out. And you're probably right. This was probably the best issue so far. But I don't know. I was hotter on this the first couple. I feel like I've been lost by the creative team. And so yeah, there's just nothing here for me. I'm a pass. I'm a pass on this.
Yeah, same.
A very loose pull for me.
Okay. Let's see where the audience lies. 60% pull. Wow. Very nice. 20% didn't buy or read, pass is 16%. And pick of the week is 2%. That's a very high pull rate.
Wow. Okay.
I
People
mean,
are liking it.
yeah, like I was saying, people just love Absolute Comics at this point. So yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, and I
Having
mean,
fun.
it's worth pointing out that all the Absolute books have found their audience so far. And that's great. That's great. This is the first one where it's like, wow, I realize I couldn't give less of a fuck about this. All the other ones I'm intrigued by. They're all good. Even Green Lantern isn't like the best, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
This one I just can't find my way into. But this is the one that the audience chose in the poll, so I'm really not surprised that you guys pulled it at such a high rate because this is the one you wanted us to read. So good for you. Quick reminder to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new around these parts, and we would really appreciate it if you did that. We're trying to get to 6K subscribers here if we can. Maybe before the end of the summer if we're insanely lucky. Maybe Ultimate August will help with that.
And if you're a channel member on YouTube, there's 5 new emojis you can check out that are in there.
Let them fly.
Let's get into New Gods number 8. New Gods number 8. This is written, as always, by Ram V, with art by Evan Cagle and Pablo M. Collar. Stipan Morian on art and colors. Francesco Segala on colors as well. Tom Napolitano on the letters. The New Gods are finding home on Earth. After everything went to shit, they have suffered losses, they have suffered deaths, and they are now sort of in the hands of the humans in a way, and they're sharing space with them. They're having a massive banquet dinner with them. While Highfather has to figure out what his identity is, this issue is really sort of a slow down table setting issue, so to speak, to get certain characters into another space. It's not a bombastic issue from a things that happen standpoint, but for fans of this series, I would imagine there's more than enough character work here to keep you excited.
Yeah, I think this was the right move in terms of what this issue is.
Hmm.
What this book continues to do that I'm really enjoying is that it's solidifying who each individual new god is. In this one, this one focuses on Highfather, or Isaiah, as he's known by at this point. He's going by his real name instead of his title, and he let everyone down. So much so that he's denouncing, his son gets killed, Light Ray, in the previous issues, and their home is gone. He did everything wrong in his eyes, and so he's kind of abdicating the throne. And it's about like who he is and who he was, and he was like the flashback that this book starts off with, is kind of the origins of him becoming Highfather. It's he was just a warrior, and he lost his wife, and then he found the source, and the source helped him show who he is, and he became Highfather. And this is the opposite of it. And I like how this book is bookended by that first tragedy that happens to him, that leads to him becoming Highfather, and then it's present day at the end, and it shows how there's still stuff to fight for, and the future is still there to fight for when he sees Olivia, Barda and Scott's daughter. I really like that. That was really humanizing to a character who has just been such a Wikipedia entry to me. You know, like Highfather, sure he's a character. Yeah, I can probably have named him by looking at him, but his goals, motivations, I couldn't tell you. I've never read the Kirby stuff, and honestly, I'm not sure if they even got that far into the Kirby stuff. You know, um, and I love that that's what Romney is doing here, and at the same time, little nods to who everyone else is. Like they have this great, you know, banquet, and everyone kind of gets a little moment to shine. There's the bit where it was Scott's idea to have the banquet. Mr. Miracle. There's a bit with Wonder Woman and Barda complaining about childbirth, and like what's it like having kids. And there's a bit with they need to figure out who the next High Father is, and like they don't decide on it, but there's just one panel where they just look at Orion. Everyone looks at Orion. I'm like, man, this is just real subtle, small character building moments that I think was great for this slowdown issue. Um, and I'm still really digging this book. I really like this book.
I've been the past few issues down. I've not had a sense of where the direction of the book of the momentum was going. I could appreciate the high level thinking, but it needed to show me more in terms of what it is that the book is trying to get to. Like, where is point B? Point A was kind of just like showing us the world that could be and that is, but now with this issue, we finally have that direction. The abdication of the throne. There's this force that will now kind of uh, re reestablish itself and try to take over, seemingly an attack the new gods here. To what Tyler was saying about all the emotion that gets expressed in this book, this issue 100% turned me around on how I've been feeling about New Gods. This was my pick of the week. I
Oh,
thoroughly enjoyed the character moments, and to what you called that at the end, Tyler, the way that the book gets book ended, and how the last page, it doesn't really, you don't need text boxes to see this, right? Like, it gets expressed through the art, through the hope, through the stop of the rain, through the creation of these flowers and everything. And I just loved how the book ended on such a happy tone with this undercurrent of impending doom. Like, the storm is coming. And so I love the position that we're in at the moment. And I love some of the implications for seemingly where Darkseid might be, or the presence that he's left has created this just dark hole that nothing can escape. It's dissimilar from a black hole even. I just like where this is now, because now I feel like, okay, we have the truly set the table. Now we can go forward.
yeah. I've been down on this series as well. I haven't found my way into it, and I think this slowdown issue definitely helped with that. I'm happy that they tried to inject humanity into these characters because, by and large, I felt that they were concepts rather than people who I could um, figure out. I think this is a good start for me, but I still need a little bit more. Um, I was enjoying the first couple of issues that focused a lot more on what's going on with Mr. Miracle, Barda, to mission to find the kid and rescue him. And I feel like a lot of that stuff got swept under the rug or isn't the focus anymore. And so I've been just a little windswept by the shift. But as an individual issue, I thought this was a really good one, and it got the job. It got across exactly what it needed to in order to sway the people who needed the human aspect to shine through a little bit more. So, great stuff. Great stuff. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Okay, cool. That's gonna be my question. Like, is there something that will, does it need to turn it around for you, or are you like on an upward trajectory with it?
I would say this issue like this was your pick of the week. I'm not quite as like back as you, but this was what I needed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling about the Evan Kegel art now that he's kind of in it now?
that opening, the title screen, title page. I love that shit. That
Yeah.
whatever design work he put into there, I was just staring at that. Like and I'm annoyed that it's behind text and like the titling because I was just enamored by it. I think he's crushing it.
Yeah, this was the best display yet for me. In terms of like just characters hanging around and talking. I think some of the action bits that we've gotten have been good. Sometimes I can still find a problem with perspective, but by and large, this issue was great looking. And outside of his Superman just never having a facial expression for some reason, everybody else I thought was expressive, and Mr. Terrific looked great. I was so happy to see him. I just need him in every book. And so I was really grateful for his appearance as well, and he looked awesome.
Superman just looks like a model throughout this issue. He
Yeah.
just he just looks like he's the man of blue steel instead.
Very cutesy looking.
I don't mind it. I kind of like it. It feels like a stylistic choice. I dig it. Like
Yeah.
look at Oberon. Like I have a page up on the screen with on the right middle one. He's just checking that New God kid's head shape or something. But like he's a weird looking dude too. Like everyone kind of has like a weird design to them, but it's good. I like it.
We're introduced and it's part of the construction of the world. I think the Eternals did that really well, where you'd get introduced to some kind of new uh, version, and it incorporated itself into the history. I think there are elements of that, especially at the opening, 3-page sequence a lot of the time, where we get that kind of introduction. But otherwise, yeah, seeing the familiar players, I think just helps to push the story along.
It helps my interest level when the focus is on the characters that I already know. Sure. But I didn't come into this assuming it would only be them. It's just that Rom V started the story with the focus on them and it's expanded outward, which is totally fine. But I really like the fact that, in this issue, it's Scott Free who decides to have this banquet. Barda brings the baby over to Highfather. Like I want to see them more. I thought that this would be another vehicle to get more chapters in their story. And that's what I want. I want all the other people too, and I know this is bigger than them, but I want them to remain a focus of this series. So, Paul,
Shot, yeah. Pick of the week, and shout out to Stepan Morian, the artist who did the 1 through 3 pages. I thought his art was super unique. Really liked it.
Yeah, I really like that too. And then it was the other middle was Pablo Collar, right? That did the
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific, Miss Martian scenes. Which great timing on that Mr.
yes.
Terrific fight scene in this book. People have been craving it since last week.
Hell yeah. Let's see where the audience lies. 55% of you say pull. Didn't buy or read is 28%. Pick of the week, 13%. Pass, 2%. Another pretty high
Yeah,
positive rate for this book.
for a New Gods book, hell yeah.
DC getting good grades.
You guys are all in on DC, my God. Did we mistake Mr. Terrific with Mr. Miracle? No, Mr. Terrific's in the book.
Yep, they both are. So I can't mistake them now, verbally.
Come on now. One's black, one's white. Get with it. Um, let's talk about.
I thought you were just talking about
Invincible
Mr. Miracles in general, since there's two of them.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, one's
That's
black,
true,
one's
too.
white.
Let's get into the image side of things. We're just going to quickly take a look at image with Invincible Universe Battle Beast #3. This was the image book to make the docket this week, and I'm always grateful whenever we get to check out Battle Beast. This is, of course, written by Robert Kirkman with art by the incomparable Ryan Otley. Like, holy shit, Ryan Otley. Uh, Annalisa Leone on colors, Russ Wooten on the letters. This book is a a book that I think if it came out 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't like it. because it's not a lot going on, and every issue is basically the same. Every issue is, well, who's going to kill Battle Beast? He wants to lose. The computer wants him to lose. Other people want to kill him for a variety of reasons, but he's damn hard to kill. Who's going to succeed? Not anybody in this issue. And that's kind of been the trajectory so far, but damn if it isn't fun. Ryan Otley is an insane artist, generationally good. And I think this is the best version of him that we've ever gotten. And this is very much his vehicle. You got to like the blood and gore, because there is a whole bunch of that. But this is a Ryan Otley vehicle. And again, it's those subtle things that Robert Kirkman does to separate this book from a run of the mill um, violence porn book by including subtle things. Like in this issue, Battle Beast is facing off with all these other characters who want to kill him because he killed their fathers, he killed their world, he killed their parents, whatever. And one of the characters here asks him, "Well, what did you do to those people to make them hate you so much?" And Battle Beast is like, "I don't remember." What an ass!
Genuinely, just uncaring.
Yeah, I forget who it was now, but mentioned Bane was aura farming in Arkham and in Absolute Batman. Battle Beast is aura farm the book. It's just Battle Beast looking at the camera, killing people, slicing them up, not being funny, but because he's not funny, he then becomes funny. Like this is popcorn comics to the best extent.
Yeah.
It's just read it. You don't got to think too much. The book doesn't give you much to think about. Like in any other book, this sequence would have been a third of an issue. They let the whole issue be about the sequence. It's just a fight in space where a lion man tears up a whole bunch of space cops, while two sniveling underlings complain in the background. They kind of feel like a Pain and Panic from Hercules, kind of in the back,
Sure.
while Battle Beast is just doing his thing. It just looks so good. I love Otley's use of the color red just throughout this.
I mean, it's just blood.
Well, that's the thing though. It's not blood, because it's aliens. So like in previous issues, it was green blood. I think this one they had blue blood, is what the characters had in this. But there is red in Battle Beast's costume. There's red in the door, the space door, that he uses. So it's like a gory book, but it's also kind of not what you expect in terms of the colors. I don't know. I love how just straightforward this book is. It's no frills, and it's a ton of fun.
You said blue blood?
Wasn't there blue blood in this?
No,
Or was that a
it's
different
all
book I read?
red.
Okay, if it was, then must have been reading a different book at the same time.
I was wondering if it was the difference between the review copy or a purchase copy.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you say to that? Like, I think the biggest sequences here are just, if you're a fan of action sequences, if you're a fan of being able to just go through and follow mayhem, there are so many panels here that are a close up of Battle Beast's face after he's done something menacing or evil. Like when he bursts through the glass, he like headbutts through the glass on this one guy, and then the next panel you see is just teeth, right? Because that is the last image you're gonna get to see. It could be a smirk because that is also the last image you're gonna get to see. There are so many moments like that that make this book fun, and I do like when the little sniveling alien guy has finally convinced the robot, like, okay, like we're gonna go home, we're gonna go to back to the planet Fantania, and he has this moment, and he had another moment like this previously where he was like trying to convince him of the good he could do. You know, he's such a strong person, he's such a strong being in this universe, he's a force, and nothing can stop him. And he's like, what if you just turn to good? He's like, I'm gonna sleep. Just no regard.
There was a good beat there, yeah, where it's like,
so, yeah,
you can't read him though. That's the thing,
right?
because you don't know if he's
Right.
actually thinking about it or he's ignoring it. And I love how that's just built into the character. He's just baseline. Battle Beast
Yeah.
is Battle Beast.
Yeah, this book is just awesome. It really is. And like I don't know how long they're gonna go with this. I don't know what the mileage is for this, but I can tell you that 3 issues in, I haven't gotten tired of it. And I'm looking forward to the twist that we get in the next one because apparently they've gone to the the little alien shit's home planet. So I assume something really interesting is going to happen from that point of view, from that angle, and I'm here for it, man. I haven't enjoyed a Robert Kirkman book. I mean, I like Void Rivals a lot, but out the gate, this is way more energetic and propulsive than Void Rivals. And nothing has happened. It's the same issue every issue, but they're all just really fucking good.
It's a writer and artist that just understand each other implicitly. You know, these guys can probably work on autopilot at this point. Like, they just know what to do for each other. And I think it's evident in this. Because you're right, John. Nothing really happens. Like this, the first 3 issues could have happened in one issue of a normal comic. Maybe 2. But yeah, no, I think it's a lot of fun. I don't trust that little guy though.
No.
He's up to something. The way he like convinces the ship to go along with his plans instead. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the actual villain and he's going to be the big bad. He's just depowered in a way right now.
Oh, interesting. I was taking him at face value. See, I would have gotten killed.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I think the cool thing for this book is that yeah, there are definitely machinations happening with that guy, but as far as Battle Beast is concerned, it doesn't even matter. Like we're concerned with that. We're interested as the readers. In universe, Battle Beast couldn't give less of a fuck if there are plans going on. He knows the robot is trying to kill him, the ship, and he doesn't care. He's like, yeah, please.
I'd also argue as readers, we don't. It doesn't matter because this is in timeline wise of Invincible. This is in the middle of things. We know Battle Beast comes back fine. Like, so this is built in. Like, whatever happens in the story can't really have too much of a dramatic effect on things because we know what happens with Battle Beast in Invincible.
I didn't even know this was taking place in the middle of Invincible. I have no
Yeah.
idea. I was just reading and enjoying.
He's having a good time.
The way I think
Yeah.
it goes is Battle Beast shows up in the comics, fights and beats the shit out of everyone in Invincible's world, or like in his area, and says, "Guys, you aren't strong enough for me. You're no real competition," and then leaves. And he doesn't show up again for like issues and issues later, when Mark is stronger. But
Hell
this
yeah.
is directly after that first appearance on Earth.
Okay. Easy pull.
Yeah, pull.
Yeah, easy pull for me as well. Yeah, I mean the one other good thing about this, and this is where like I'm a little bummed I don't buy physically, is there's always good variants for this book too.
Ah, yeah, I like the one you have on screen.
Yeah. This is the Nakamura, I believe. But yeah, it's I don't I understand why every artist probably wants to draw Battle Beast. Gotta be one of the coolest designs in comics right now. And no action figure still. What's going on, guys?
That's shocking.
Right? This guy looks like was made to be an action figure.
48% of you didn't buy or read this. 35% say pull, 10% pass. Pick of the week is 5%. So I guess a lot of you just not really caring about Battle Beast, which, we are a Marvel DC focused channel, so I get it. But I think this book is good. I think it's good. Like you don't need a relationship with Invincible to enjoy this book. I have no relationship to it at all, and I love this. But to each their own. Let's go into the Marvel side. It's time to talk about Imperial #2. This is what I am talking about. Jonathan motherfucking Hickman back. He's back. Issue 1, he wasn't back. Issue 2, he back. Jonathan Hickman on the words for this one with some banger artists. Federico Vincenti and Iban Coelho, two of the best that Marvel has in their stable. Colors by Federico Blee. Last issue established that Wakanda is allegedly behind what is happening here, this attack, these assassinations that have taken place. And I think we all sussed out that that was bullshit from the first issue. So the question was, then what is really happening here? And this issue opens up on war. There is war now between these different factions and planets. They're taking the fight to Wakanda. And the Wakandans are saying, look, we didn't do it, but we're down to fight anyway. If you want to, we'll fucking fight. So that's what they're doing. And the whole issue, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, what's really going on here? And I was actually a little frustrated. Like, how come Shuri and Black Panther and everybody aren't just saying, wait, can we stop and talk about this for 2 fucking seconds? Please? But they're convinced of the evidence they have. They think it's the Black Panthers. And then in the last third, the other the other shoe drops. And so dropped my fucking jaw. Because it's the scrolls.
It's not just the scrolls though.
Yeah.
The whole when they name drop Varanki, I was like, hell yeah, hell yeah, and the scrolls pop up. But then the Shi'ar hobgoblins pop up too, and Hickman is throwing everything at the board right now with cosmic space Marvel stuff. As I was reading this issue, most of the time I was just like, fuck yeah, oh shit, hell yeah. Like that was my reaction the entirety of this. There's the bit with, the Shi'ar Imperial Guard with Oracle, who I'm a big Oracle fan in terms of the Shi'ar Guard. Oracle and Smasher are two of my favorites. But they're preparing to fight these Wakandans, which we know as readers are being set up. Like we know we have lived with this version of M'Baku, we've lived with T'Challa and Shuri. So we know something is wrong there. And once that Shuri comes on the ship with Nova and Star-Lord, and it's great to see those two actually be the voice of reasons and decide like, okay, let's see what Shuri has to say about this and actually listen instead of, fucking Ronin with his Fortnite backbling supreme intelligence he has all of a sudden. That's like the secondary intelligence, I think is what they called it. Just deciding to just lay waste to the Wakandans without any real kind of investigation, which was typical for the Kree, honestly. I love this. As a Space Marvel fan, I was so into this. You had the Imperial Guard. You had even like a Deathbird and the Magistress, which is Lilandra and Professor X's daughter, being involved here. It's really interesting because we know Professor X and Lilandra will be showing up in one of the side books. So now I'm starting to see where all these side books are going to be happening and how this is really the impetus for this huge event and in Cosmic Marvel end that we haven't seen in a while. And I think Hickman's doing some really good work here. And I got to say, Vicentini is a friggin' star. I thought the art in this was phenomenal throughout. Yeah, this was my pick of the week. This is the most fun I've had in a Marvel book in a long, long, long time.
This is so good, man. Those of you who miss the sort of big bombastic cosmic events that we used to get in the late 2000s and early 10s, this feels like it's right alongside those in terms of that energy, all these different factions. And like, not to scare anybody, right? Because if you don't know who these characters are, if you don't know the factions, that's fine. You don't need to know all the factions. The only politics that really matter to this book are the ones in the book. Outside knowledge doesn't really matter. Like, I pop crazy for the scrolls, but that's because they're the scrolls. Like, they're cool. I like them, and it's a rare twist. You cannot do this kind of twist too much. Because otherwise it's like, oh yeah, wow, the scrolls are fucking behind it. But when they did it in New Avengers with Elektra, when they did it here, it's been enough time that it's like, oh wow, I wasn't thinking about that.
And not to mention, like, because it's been enough time, the Skrulls have become kind of good. Because they're aligned with Hulkling. He's the leader of the Skrull Kree allegiance. So this whole time, like, the Krees and the Skrulls have kind of been kumbaya so this is a big deal for that, like breaking again, but in three separate ways. Um, and the bit like, I'm a big Cosmic Marvel head. I'm pretty sure the one with the chess pieces is Grandmaster, one of the
That's what I was
elders.
thinking.
Yeah, it's got to be the elders. And then that brings up the idea of like, yes, we had these space warring factions in Marvel Cosmic Space, but now we're mixing in Cosmic Marvel with Space Marvel at the same time. I think Al Ewing is the one that differentiated the two. Space Marvel being like the Shi'ar, the Kree, the Nova Corps, but then Cosmic being the entities of like uh, the Cosmic Elders, like Grandmaster and Collector, and then like things like Eternity and stuff like that, which Hickman dealt a lot with during his Gods run, and we know there's a Gods tie into this too. So it's kind of a way that I can see Hickman putting the pieces together to really meld the cosmic and the space at the same time, and also bringing in like some just like real Marvel head shit. With name dropping Varanki is enough. A piece of word is enough to make me go pick of the week. There we go, back in.
Well, the scrolls got me, but I'm back. Uh,
That's an old bit.
this to what you were saying about this being like this is for the Marvel heads, for like the space heads of that universe. Like I very much felt that here, where I was not lost, but I found myself coming across terminology and characters and interactions and relationships that I'm not as familiar with. Hickman was able to guide me through well enough, and I found a lot of the dynamics at play, like the politics going around, kind of go above my head a little bit. But the fact that the characters and the interactions we get are just superheroes who end up coming in front of each other, I was able to ground myself on that. Um, but there were moments where I just felt like because this was all a series of action sequences, dissimilar to Battle Beast, all of the characters involved, I was finding myself getting lost as to who certain players were and their stakes and what the motivation was again. I felt like I needed to go back and reread number one again to like understand the who was part of what faction, and I had to reference the first page, where like these are
Character sheet
the
and the factions they're
what
in.
is it? Yeah, these are the Shi'ar. These are the Imperial Super Guardians. These are the Galactic Empires of like the Sparta. Like I had to remind myself of those quite a few times. Yeah,
I
no
think
fault
that's
of the book.
okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
no fault of
that's
the book.
because, like, I'm glad they included that. This is a lot of characters. And it's one of the things that superhero comics can uniquely do, where you can throw mad characters at a book and, like, let's just mix it up. And these are players that, we've seen mix it up a few times in the past, but then you have the Hulk, then you have Black Panther. So Cosmic Marvel has shifted a little bit since the last time we got like a really big event of this magnitude for Space Cosmic. And so it's cool to see these characters interact. Like, I hated the fact that the Hulk was involved in this. Now, kind of like, oh shit, the Hulk's there too. Like, this is just fun as hell, and it's fun in a way that only Marvel can do, but it also has the space intrigue and politics and wheels within wheels that really only Hickman does. So there's just so much here that's excellent. And now I'm interested in these tie-ins. They got me. They really got me.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I wanted Hickman to do with Space Marvel. Like, I want to read a Professor X Lalandra story. Huh? Why would I say that? Why would those words come out of my mouth? But you know what? I do now. Like
It's
what is
Claremont.
and now that there's also like a space issue we have now. All of the big players for Marvel Space are now light years away from where all their planets are. They're stuck on the other side of that space gate. And now the people that have to defend their worlds essentially are Deathbird, it's Nova, it's Star Lord, it's Shuri. It's all of like the little guys in a way. Your Black Panthers, your Hulks, your Guardians are all on the other side of the universe. So now there's that makes the tie-ins enticing.
Yeah, like now when they were first announced, it's kind of like, oh, what? But now we understand like why these tie-ins were chosen, why these characters were chosen. Everything is making so much more sense. And it's a separate topic, but it really makes me wish that we didn't have to see solicits for things so far in
Yes.
advance.
Yes.
That's not the fault of the book or the teams or anything like that, but I'm way more interested in all those tie-ins now than I was.
And one of them is written by Dan Abnett coming up too. So
Right. Yeah.
uh,
Very true.
he's drawing like the big team book, which is bringing like Carol into the fold and stuff. I dig this so much. This is such my jam. That man, and like I brought up a page here because I want to harp on the Vincentini art some more. I think I was first introduced to his art back during Falcon Winter Soldier. There was like a book for Falcon and Winter Soldier, not to tie in with the movie, but to also be released around the same time as the show. And there's this two panel situation where it's Hulk versus Black Panther, and these guys got their Marvel rival skins on. Black Panther's got this Rebel soldier outfit on, and Hulk's got his Gladiator Hulk thing on, and then Hulk pins Black Panther against the wall. He does this little Wakandan little beep thing, and he teleports past Hulk. It's just little stuff like that, and it's just so high sci-fi, and I just love seeing these characters in. And those are like two characters that are typically not always in space. Those are like usually just Earth people, but they work here. It just works. Man, I love this. This is so much fun.
It's gotten me interested in the space Wakanda stuff. Like
Sure.
I've not read, so I'm nowhere near caught up on any of it. But this is interesting. Like it feels like they belong in that environment. They are such a technologically advanced society and group that, well, of course, their next target is the stars and beyond because they will have grown out, or they would have grown out of the earth. Like that makes sense
Yeah.
to me. And seeing them here and seeing them as key players into this cosmic like, tapestry, I love that.
Hickman is a big fan of that whole Wakandan space thing. We had it in his Aliens versus Avengers.
Yeah,
Yep.
And this is
He
the first
he
time it
didn't
made sense.
he didn't create the
No.
concept, but he clearly loves it. He
yeah.
he he clearly adores it.
Wasn't it a Coates concept after it was like an issue 1 relaunch?
It was Ta-Nehisi Coates during his Black Panther
Yeah.
run. Yeah, and I really didn't care for it at the time. I'm not even really a big fan of it. I'm not now at all, but I do like it is what it is. It's going to happen anyway, so I'm just trying to evaluate it like what is being done, and the story being told right here is very good. So I'm in.
And that's happening in the current books in the for Black
No.
Panther.
What
That
current
was
book?
yeah, there is no current Black Panther book, but
Yeah.
that was started in the Ta-Nehisi Coates run about a decade ago,
Oh damn!
give or take.
Was that the stuff that we did like that the book club on, or
We
the
did the
next
book,
series?
yeah, it's the next series by Ta-Nehisi
Yeah.
Coates.
Right.
But it's after what we did, what we read, yeah.
It was like a
Gotcha.
relaunch. I
Okay.
think T'Challa wakes up in space and he realizes that Wakanda has kind of grown beyond him. Yeah.
Hell yeah, I like that shit. I like this concept.
Almost my pick of the week. Excellent book. I really want to say pick of the week for the scroll aspect, but I can't. I can't. There was something I
Almost your
enjoyed more
pick.
than this.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
very
giving me
close.
a scroll twist here. This is easily my pick of the week. I loved everything about this, which is weird because after I read this after Absolute Batman, and after I read Absolute Batman, I'm like, oh, that's my pick of the week easily. That was great. And then I read this, and I was like, hold on, this is my shit.
Yeah, yeah, the good stuff. And apparently you guys think so too, even though 43% of you didn't buy or read, 35% of you say pull, and 16% say pick of the week, only 5% passing. That's a pretty good rate. You guys are enjoying this series, and you should be. This is excellent. This is why, like, this feels like what Hickman is at Marvel to do still. And if
Hmm.
he's gonna do this, bring it on.
This feels more like him actually having a plan for a section of the Marvel Universe, as
Yeah.
opposed to being the hitman, as we call him. Hickman the hitman, where he's just like, hey, we have this thing, you can do this, we trust you.
Make it pop off.
Yeah, no, this feels like almost an expansion of the stuff he talked about wanting to do during his X-Men run, with like Cannonball and Sunspot, right? Wasn't he mentioned like the whole Shi'ar stuff that he had plans for that?
Yeah, but this is
Well,
far away from that.
well, that's what I'm saying. It feels like almost like he might have had an idea of what Cosmic could be, and now this is even more of that now.
Entertain me with a question. Is One World Under Doom happening at the same time as Imperial? Because Professor X left during that time, right? But Panther and Hulk are on Earth, but in space as well. Dude, you cannot think like that. That is
You just
just
gotta leave that at the door.
that's yeah, like as frustrating as that is, and I'm with you on that. I had to stop thinking about shit like that over a decade ago because that will be your 13th reason. You will absolutely lose your fucking mind if you think too much about that.
By the time this book is done, it'll probably place itself at a time. But right now, just enjoy the ride.
And it might not.
It
A
might
lot
not
of
do. Yeah.
times, these days especially, they're just not that concerned with what pieces are where. Editorial used to be a lot more lockjawed about that, and they're just not anymore. So, um, let's get into the world to come. Number two, everybody's favorite, the hit of Marvel, the White Panther. This book is giving us the sort of origin of that character and why everything went to shit in the Marvel Knights Black Panther uh, timeline, if you will, because there are still a lot of people confused by this, and I want to make sure I say it up front. This is not canon to mainline Black Panther. The Black Panther that we just read in Imperial is not the same character as this one. They're not in the same continuity. Nothing happening in this book pertains to that Black Panther in any way, shape, or form. That being said, Joe Quesada on the art, Christopher Priest on the words, Richard Isanov on the colors, Richard Starkings on the letters,
Hey,
Tyler Smith on the letters as well. Um, this book again takes us through a very sort of long timeline, and it bounces around between decades to tell us the story of how all this came to be, um, why T'Challa is killed by his son. How is he relate? How does he have a white son? Like that boy don't look mixed race.
No, no, his hair is
He's
way too straight. Yeah.
white. Yeah. And so this book explains that, and now we understand how that happened. And I gotta be honest with you. The first issue had me because I was very, very interested in how they were gonna handle what was established and what was gonna go on. This issue lost me. There's just too much bouncing around. I do not like the presentation at all. It didn't really move forward because of the way the story is being told. We actually end up seeing only like one thing that happens after the last moment we saw, at least as far as I could tell. The kid ends up on the throne because he beat his dad in tribal combat, and now he's the king. And that's the only thing that happens that's immediately following last issue's uh events because of the way this all jumps around. And I do not want that type of storytelling at all. Pass on that completely.
it was a detriment. Like there were pieces of last issue that had continuity here. Monica and having the kid, or rather not seemingly like a stillbirth. Um, but other moments like the Ross piece, I was so confused by, and then how it ends up tying into um, the child, like that connection there. It feels like there's so much extra fluff put into these things, or extra content that is meant to be context, but that feels unnecessary. Like there are certain things you didn't have to show us here, for me to care about the origin of who this kid is. So yeah, I was definitely frustrated by the book and by the way that it, like you said, just bounces around. It doesn't care for this linear narrative and to be clear or concise about things, and that just hurts it.
So I agree with you guys. That being said, the timeline at the end of this book cleared the issue up for me. I just don't think I should have to read that to enjoy a book. Because I was confused reading this. And this is typical for Priest. Priest loves times and places listed in his books. And the timeline at least then puts it into a chronological thing and explains it in text and prose form. It's an interesting dynamic that Priest is going for here. Essentially, like, there's a race war happening throughout this world that's happening. I think he calls it the Great Race War. And the idea that in the middle of this, or the impetus of it, was T'Challa's adopted son, a white adopted son coming to the throne, is interesting. A lot of this book is just interesting to me. I don't know if it's compelling. Because all the pieces are kind of... It feels like a whole bunch of pieces are just scattered across the table, and I'm just picking them individually out and reading them and getting them. I don't really see the larger picture. I mean, Sean's right. We only get 3 minutes forward in the future in terms of the forward plot progression of the main impetus of the race war. That being said, Priest is one of those writers that I give a lot of slack to, because at the end of his books, I wind up usually liking them. It's just sometimes there's a lot of work involved. So I'm going to stick with this. I liked it. I didn't love it. And I only liked it once I read the timeline, and it kind of put those pieces together for me.
Dude, what the fuck do we care about Everett Ross for?
That's this kid's dad.
I do not care. We spent way too much time with him. He is not interesting. I totally get it. Everett Ross is to Wakanda as Steve Trevor is to Themyscira. He's the first white man in the black man's world. I completely get that. Every piece of Black Panther media has to constantly remind me that there's a white guy involved. I don't care. I want to know about this race war. I don't want to know about Everett Ross. Everett fucking Ross?
I found it weird that him and T'Challa share an ex-girlfriend.
I find it weird that him and T'Challa. Leave this man in America. Get him out of this comic book. Look, I love the Joe Quesada art. Joe Quesada is the man. I think he is a phenomenal artist. But I can't get behind this story. It's not, and again, it has nothing to do with the White Panther. I'm all about that. I thought this issue was going to give me reasoning. Like, does anybody here understand why Black Panther made this choice? Did I fuck up? Did I miss it?
No.
What the choice to yield?
The choice to have a White Panther.
Oh, the choice to... So it's
Like adopt a baby.
He couldn't have a kid,
yeah.
sounded like. It sounded like, based on the previous issue, that him and his wife were having issues having a kid.
Right.
And then there was, I guess, Raymonda was saying how an heir to the throne is needed, so he needed a son, specifically, even so. And in the timeline, and in this issue, he goes to the U.S. to adopt the essentially niece of his ex-girlfriend, or the nephew of his ex-girlfriend, who is the kid of Everett Ross and the woman at the beginning of this book. Who Everett Ross has no idea exists. It's convoluted, and I don't know the reasoning just yet.
All right, yeah, that's what I was getting at. There is the reasoning hasn't been exposed yet, and we're 2 issues in. I needed to see. That's what I needed to see in this issue, not Everett Ross. I needed to know why Black Panther would make a decision this dumb. You couldn't tell Mr. Black fucking Panther that having a white adopted child was going to cause a race war. I could have prognosticated that, T'Challa.
He still loves his ex-white girlfriend. The race war started because of snow bunnies, apparently.
That's how it would always start.
Is that the
Wait,
wait? Hold on. Is that the MO of this book?
Yes.
snow bunnies cause problems.
Be careful about snow bunnies.
It's a lesson. It's a tale. Hold on. You guys are saying that the woman at the beginning of the first issue is Everett Ross's ex, but isn't the girl that he loves the sister of Nikki, and then we have a profile picture and the girl's white?
No,
Yes.
T'Challa's ex is also white. There's another ex.
Oh,
Yeah, not. I don't remember if she was in the first issue or not, but they share an ex. It's the woman that's in his wallet. Which
Right,
it's
right.
weird
Okay.
that he's dating his ex-girlfriend's sister.
Yes.
right.
Ugh, come on, buddy.
What? What? That made it worse for me. What?
That's
Stupid.
convoluted. That's convoluted. Like there's so many things. First of all, you're not dating your ex's sister. That's like a very rare person who would do that. Has it happened? Sure, but it's a very rare person who would do that. Then on top of that crazy one in a million shit, the leader of a black nation is adopting a white child. Come on, priest. Come on.
He's trying to solve racism, dude. That's what
With
this
a white
is.
man?
Only there are only certain people who can do that. One of them is Cody Rhodes, and and I don't think that can happen here. Um, yeah,
Uh, Man, this was a pass. This was so rough for me. And then the like the thing that made me burst out laughing was when the kitten Black Panthers were just like in this like briefcase. I was so lost in that moment. Like I was already not having a good time, and then suddenly they're worshiping this crate, and I'm just like, what the fuck is
Well,
happening
right
here?
before that, is it Shuri or it's T'Challa's wife or whatever? Um, brings Everett Ross to
Monica?
this. Yeah, brings him to the tree, the Boab Boab tree. I can't pronounce
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's an upside down tree. It's a real thing, and which is like a religious artifact. And they're getting new gods. Is that what they're positing? These are like new godlings.
who fucking knows? I say pass. This is too weird. I really think there was a way to do this that I would have been compelled by, and this ain't it.
Just like how I like how we did have we have a legitimate question here that in context makes sense. But Entertain Me says, Sean, didn't the race war happen before the adoption? Because Storm died in the race war right before that. Yeah, it did. The race war was happening when the which is apparently the top of the Washington Monument is what kills Everett Ross's girlfriend and falls on her. That was because of the race war. Yeah, man, the timeline's all over the place.
Rob says, wait, yeah, I'm a pass.
I'm still a pull. I'm enjoying the ride enough that I'm still interested to keep reading this, but it is bonkers.
And Marco, you said you were a pass, right?
Yeah.
48% of you didn't buy or read. 39% say pull. Pass is 12%. Nobody picked this as their pick of the week. Big surprise. Um, Sean Ali says, "Can we agree Christopher Priest is pissing people off?" I mean, he's pissing me off because I think this story could be awesome, but it's not. I have no problem with the fact that T'Challa adopted a white child. I just want to know why. And, maybe I'm being a bit selfish, but I think that this issue should have explained that. We should have gotten knee deep into T'Challa's thought process, not Everett Ross's love life. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, yeah. Why? Just give me a why at this point. Like, and with that, I can suffer through getting tossed around narratively.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying narratively.
Rob says when Chadwick Boseman passed, Amazon made every Black Panther issue free, and that's how I started reading comics. That's very cool, Rob. And he
Wow.
says, I loved Christopher Priest's run, so I will definitely get this. And I think what's likely is that this is a run exclusively, not exclusively, but largely directed at people who have already read the Christopher Priest run. So fair play. I haven't.
Even the back matter kind of harkens back to it, like the whole Mephisto demon stuff of it all with Everett Ross, where he says he sold his pants to it. He sold his soul for a pair of pants. Like that apparently happens in that run too, with some really interesting Mark Teixeira art. If you're gonna do a demon story in Marvel Comics, Mark Teixeira is a good guy to get.
Oh man, Hayden says this sounds like Marvel Trouble levels of confusion. Peter's dad and Mary hooking up, and May, excuse me, hooking. Whoa, 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 whoa! Peter's dad and Aunt May.
Yeah,
Oh my God, May being his birth mother, Uncle Ben in love with Peter's mother.
you don't know
One
about
of the
Trouble?
many. Oh my God, yeah! Wow,
Oh,
that's crazy.
Guess who wrote that one, Sean?
I know it was Mark Miller.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious!
To be fair, she wasn't an
What?
old woman. She was foxy. You know,
What you mean, Foxy?
It's wild.
like it wasn't. It's not Aunt May. It's like it was just his girlfriend's sister. Which again, what's with the sisters, guys?
Woo. Oh my goodness! Wow, can't believe Marvel published that. All right, let's get into the last book on the docket for today. A stealth inclusion into the docket because it was a stealth release. We didn't know it was coming out. Marvel made the announcement, and a lot of stores didn't get it. I was not able to get it. My store did not have it. You would think they would, considering what they are, but they just didn't get it. X-Men Age of Revelation, #0. This is written by Jed MacKay with art by Humberto Ramos, inks by Victor Olazaba, colors by Edgar Delgado. And this is the intro book to the Age of Revelation. Again, the same concept as the Age of Apocalypse. This issue just gives us the idea of how we get into this Age of Revelation, thus the #0 of it. And I got to tell you, this was my pick of the week.
This is bonkers to me. Sean,
Wild.
a Jed MacKay X-Men book that is a spiritual successor in a way to Age of Apocalypse is your pick of the week.
This was the best Jed MacKay script that I have read in years. I thought this was like multiple tiers above X-Men, Blood Hunt. Blood Hunt is, I mean, that's throwaway garbage compared to this. Way better than everything else I've read by Jed MacKay. I had to double check. I was like, first few pages, because I'm reading this narration. I'm like, this is actually really well written narration. Who did this? And I'm like, oh, this is Jed MacKay. I can't believe it.
People are saying Marco got replaced by a scroll when his internet went out briefly. I think Sean might have been replaced before the show had.
I just thought the script was excellent. There were a few examples where I thought he really nailed the point. Striking at its enemy even in death. For make no mistake, this land is the enemy of the human. It is no longer any part of the much reduced United States of America. It is changed now, made inimical to human life, while at the same time nurturing mutant kind. Like that's the shit I want to read. Let's go, Jed.
Who'd have thunk that all Sean needed was a clear direction?
Yeah,
Like it is
like,
it is a elseworld. I mean, it's actually typical X-Men, but it's elseworldsy. It's a near future that hasn't happened yet, but now they're trying to stop that by throwing a book to the past version of those characters to prevent it from happening, which then probably causes it.
Doug Ramsey takes center stage here.
Yeah.
He is the new Apocalypse, and he goes by Revelation. And this issue shows us step by step how we got to whatever the Age of Revelation will be, and it does it in chronological order, which is exactly what I wish Christopher Priest would have done in the world to come. It's just straightforward, which I really appreciated. And it shows you like at first he was, doing things the right decent way. And then he started to use his powers to manipulate other people's behavior. And no one said anything at first. And then he started to do it to other heroes. And then he started to do it to whoever he wanted. And that is what creates all these problems that lead to the Age of Revelation, where yes, now there are mutants are the dominant species, but it came at the cost of almost all other life. And this place is death and hell. Hell yeah.
And it's drawn by
Oh,
Hermonto Ramos, which that's just a cherry on top. The
Yep.
the his Zorn is so good. Shen Zorn is such a cool character, and the fact that he is the narrator throughout this whole issue, I thought was a real good touch. Because he was kind of he's in the background of the current X-Men run, and he's kind of just doing his thing in the background. But this gives him a reason to exist. And I like the world. It's not Age of Apocalypse where everything's dark and dreary and apocalyptic. Like, sure, this is apocalyptic, but in the sense that Zelda Breath of the Wild is sort of apocalyptic. You know what I mean? Like, the skies are still blue. There's still grass everywhere. So it is a visual thing that I enjoy. And I think the world, it's an interesting enough spin on it that it's, I'm not going to say I'm excited for Age of Revelation, but I'm excited to see how we get there now that I know what the potential end game of it could be.
I've I think I needed uh more than this. Like the structure of the world works, the construction, the characters that we have here and the trajectory works. But I wasn't enthralled. This wasn't pulling me in. I saw the like as we saw the downfall of Doug, or the kind of becoming evil, like becoming the monster. Um, I didn't feel the like emotional weight of some of those things a lot of the time. One of the moments that took me out was when he was on the face of Mount Rushmore. Um, and I'm trying to figure out like how to where am I planting my concerns? Is it in just the future, or is it in how we're going to get to this near future? And I don't know quite yet what I care to see. If it's more the world that will be explored because this is the future that will happen, or that we're gonna get to stop it. I almost want to live in it than see it get erased from the get go.
You are going to live in it. If you choose to continue to read these books, you are going to live in it. Have you ever read Age of Apocalypse?
No.
Okay. I've read a little bit of it, but it is essentially just an alternate. What we're gonna get is the aftermath of this, and I imagine that there will be an issue later down the road where they try to prevent this from ever happening, go back in time and prevent it from happening. But this is gonna be the status quo come October.
Mm.
And the most recent issue of X-Men kind of dealt with this a bit. It brought Doug, Warlock, and Bay back on the scene. And it was how, like, Apocalypse gave Doug these powers. And he has a mission, and that's to get the world ready for the fittest. It's survival of the fittest is the Apocalypse mission. And the fittest are mutants in his eyes. And how does he do that? Because Doug is kind of powerless. He was the new mutant that his only power was language. Like, what does that do in a fight? Nothing. That's why Warlock was always good as a partner with him, because there was a little bit of muscle he could have there. But now when he's imbued with this revelation and he sees the powers of Apocalypse, that power over language now means he has like the voice, like in a like Dune, you know what I mean? Where his language now can control people, and it's the idea of somebody who was pretty much powerless his whole life, now being the most powerful, and how that can corrupt, and how that can maybe make you do things out of character, but also in character at the same time, is going to be interesting. That is a very interesting concept to me. And also, Apocalypse is still around, too. So that's like another wrinkle as well. Yeah, I'm interested in this. I don't know. Do we know where the main story of this will be? Probably in the X-Men? No, because they're all different books.
There's no main storybook. It's just all these different books. that will then have either it's going to be Revelation number 1 or Omega. It's going to have, I forget what the exact title is, but it's going to have some kind of wrap up issue.
Marco, I was gonna say C.W. Gordon here. Marco says it's like Sins of Sinister. Good times.
Amazing. No thanks.
Common Sense with a 199. You think Armageddon Girl will be Horseman of Death?
That'd be
Who's
cool.
Armageddon Girl? I forget.
Yeah, I forget who she is either. And it doesn't look like this Doug is gonna have Horseman. He's having these like what did he call Fabian Cortez in this? His it's like a
I
saint
forget.
or something.
Like an acolyte.
Nah, it wasn't even an acolyte, but I mean that would make sense since Fabian is one of the acolytes.
The Choristers.
Yes, yeah, which is it's more religious based than just a horseman because he's not Apocalypse.
Yeah. Chat had a very visceral reaction to me saying this was my pick of the week, and I got it. Look, I got to tell you, when it comes to X-Men stuff, it don't take a lot. And I thought that, like, I think this is a very interesting concept. Does this change anything for me? No, it doesn't. I have no interest whatsoever in any of the titles that they've announced. I don't plan on buying or reading them. It's this specific issue because of the strength of Humberto Ramos's art, but really Jed McKay's script. I thought he delivered an excellent script. It's a one and done deal. This does not change anything for me, but this one script was off the hook. I have been waiting for them to do something with Doug for mad long. During Krakoa, I thought there was stuff to do with Doug that didn't get done. And in the back matter of this, Jed McKay said that he thought one of the most interesting plot threads that was left dangling post Krakoa was Doug Ramsey. So that makes me think, hey, if you knew that you felt that way and you knew you wanted to tell this story, why didn't you start seeding this stuff from day one? That's what I never get about some of the stuff that happens at Marvel. You could have put Doug Ramsey in your book from day one and built towards this. Instead, you want to wait until the most recent issue of X-Men.
You think is that more of a condemnation of editorial?
No, that's a condemnation of him. Because assuming he has control over who's in his book and who is not, and especially if you read the back matter, he said that he knew he wanted to do this for a long time, and it's this massive event. So Marvel had to have known this was going to come for at least 6 months
Well,
to be able to get to this point.
I was going to say though,
Coalesce.
but his book and Gail's book have been tie-in written for the past year.
But
if
you can
this
still
is
put Doug on the team.
if
in the
this is
book.
an endpoint, yeah, if this is an endpoint, you can still have a character, I guess, like debut there.
Yeah, he should have been a part of this, and I wish they would have done. If they would have done more to establish this going in, I probably would be reading X-Men, or I would at least be more excited about this event. But as it is, as far as one singular issue goes, I love this, and it's a shame that other than the books that we talk about on Pals, I'm not going to get to see where any of this fucking goes.
I was gonna say to that point, like since I'm not reading the X titles, if this had been a bigger build up, if this had been encompassing more books that would cross over with things that I would have read, then I think I'd be more primed for this. I feel like I'm not as primed for it. Outside of where we will get to at a later point, there hasn't been a build up for this.
To be fair, Marco, this is issue 0. This is the build-up. And
But I'm
the
saying
most-
we should have led up to that. Like there should have been more.
well, we have until October. That's the thing. We will have that in the next couple months. X-Men will probably be dealing with that. I don't know if any other of the books will be dealing with it, but I know X-Men will because it already had like a prelude issue with Doug and Bay and Warlock. So I assume X-Men will be the book to read until October to kind of build up that.
Pick of the week.
Wow. Wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Imperial, and you loved it, and then it wasn't pick of the week. I'm like, ain't no way.
I really thought he was gonna say World to Come.
Me too. And then
I'm
he
like,
was like, this was mid. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Hell no.
Either
Hell
one.
No.
Either one would have been like a Sean, you okay? What? Pull. I think I'm I think my lack of hype is I need a little more. I need to see a little more.
You will. I don't know if you're gonna like that more, but you will see more.
Should I? Oh no, am I about to write a check my ass can't cash? Should I read every issue 1 of Age of Revelation and do a little quick hit on it whenever they come out?
I don't think that is even a remotely weird thing that you would do. I would imagine you would read all the issues.
Yeah, probably. I do like an issue 1.
Some of these will end up on Pals Pulls. My edict only exists for me. It has nothing to do with the show. So if I've got to read an X book for the show, like we just did, I will do that.
And if you got to make it your pick of the week, you'll do it.
Hell yeah. If it's as good as this.
I was expecting you to not like this because you couldn't read it physically. You had to read it on the screen.
Well, I don't want to hold that against the quality of the book. 72% of you didn't buy or read this, which I got to imagine some of that has to do with the fact that this just wasn't available in a lot of shops for whatever reason.
It is digital, though, so you can pick it up digitally.
Yeah. 13% pass, and then poll and pick of the week are tied at 6%. I didn't vote, so that means at least one other person felt like me. Please stand up so I can feel like I've got somebody on my team.
Entertain me. Says pick of the week.
Sean, are we going to be talking? I assume we're going to be talking about the book announcements on Saturday, right? Because I have thoughts. Okay, well, I'll save that for Saturday. So check out our show Saturday because I have thoughts on a sneaking suspicion that I have with this Revelation announcement.
Oh, Near brings up a good point. Does this book count towards the stack?
Nope. The stack is only the books I physically have.
There you go.
And I will buy a physical copy of this, so you can count that when it's time. No concept. So is Joe Kelly's ASM going to change to radioactive during this event, or will it be a separate series? So we'll talk a lot more about that type of stuff on Saturday. I haven't fully indulged myself in all the details. Some of the books are changing outright, and then some of them will have like a spin-off series. So I think this will probably end up being one of those spin-off series, but we'll talk more about that on Saturday for sure.
Lectrix with the 50 SEK says 4 for one more X book. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you. Are the Iraqi mutants still on Mars? Yes, I'm pretty sure they are. And it'd be nice if Marvel would deal with that on some level, but
They're on Mars. They're fine.
Well, Hickman is writing a space book right now, so fingers crossed. Because Imperial was the shit.
That'd be cool, actually.
Who was the Iraqi that was like it could become a galaxy? It was like a hooded figure with like the galaxy, Locus or something like that. Man, those Iraqi council, some rad ass characters in there. Somnambular, the gecko looking guy.
Damn, the fact that you know the name.
Common Sense says, does that explain why Marvel canceled most of their X books, including Helverine? No. Those books were canceled because they were canceled. They just were underperforming from a sales standpoint, and that's that. The canceled books have nothing to do with this. Let's do the stack. Let's get into it. Sean Stack, this is a segment we do here because I buy a bunch of comics every week, and that's changing. This week I made some mistakes, I'm not going to lie. But the point of this is for me to reduce the count of books that I'm buying week over week. And I definitely made some mistakes, but I also dropped some books. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes.
You're talking about dropping books in the same episode. You said, "Man, I'm excited now for all these Hickman Imperial titles."
They're good.
He's
and
making
I
room.
got space. I dropped X-Men.
That's right. He's making room. Tyler, it was Lactuca.
Oh, Gesundheit.
Those numbers in, folks.
Common Sense. Will you pals talk about Dan Abnett is writing Imperial Wars tie-in in Imperial Wars? We brought it up briefly during the Imperial number 2 discussion. I don't know what's on the docket But if Imperial it is, then we will talk about it. But we're probably going to talk about a lot of X-Men, a lot of DC announcements. Because DC apparently decided just to announce what they were going to announce at San Diego now, possibly. Because there's some big news there.
Yeah. I don't suspect we're going to talk about that. Common sense. Dan Abnett is writing an Imperial tie-in. Great.
Gasp.
He's doing like the Avengers of space, essentially, which is kind of rad.
Sick.
We'll read it when it comes
Cool,
out.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing to say. It's sounds nice.
Tyler, what is that shirt? Yeah.
It's Mulholland Drive.
Oh, those Vampire Diaries.
Oh, God. That is offensive.
All right, I'm going to start reading out some of these numbers. Got 19 for the stack from Near. Patrick Zay, 17. Absolute JTQ with 21. Steve Canaris, 18. James Jones, 17. Nope. Hayden's Hideout, 16. Sean Ali, 21. CW Gordon, 17. MX Mothman, 20. Rami Darwish, 18. Electrics, 14. Entertain Me, 10. Not my real thought, but trying to influence Sean to spend less. Well, good luck. Lucas the Heat Wave, damn, just got on break. That was a quick one. Gonna catch the replay. I missed everything after Batman, but 14. And then Kyutsu, 22. Oh, bye, Sean.
And we have no more stack now.
Well, there you go.
Jeez, we need to get the comics bucks on some new. You're Sean right now, Marco, on the
Spectrum, bro. Spectrum, fuck Spectrum.
So I guess I can tell you what my stack is. I have a digital stack. Thank you, Steve Canaris. Yes, David Lynch represent. Let me read how many I'm reading this week. Let's do a quick little mental math.
Wow, and yours says never watched a David Lynch film. How many do you typically buy in a week, actually?
It's best we don't talk about that, Marco.
Uh-oh. Better or worse than Sean?
Let's say we don't. It's not about airing. It's not Tyler's stack. We don't talk about how mine was maybe over 20.
Tyler's terabyte.
At this point, yeah. It's just you don't like count because with the comicsology. Here's the issue. What gets me.
Yeah.
The buy now, or
easy.
click instantly.
Think.
You don't see a tally. You don't see a receipt.
Yeah.
There's no guilt. Like I didn't know I had this many comics this week until I just read it. Like, and now I'm like, do I need Godzilla versus Kills the Marvel Universe? Probably not.
But you don't have subscriptions to the each title?
No, because I need to know what's coming out that week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, that's where I
the subscription is where I would screw myself. Because I could drop a book if I see it that week in like the new releases.
Yeah.
I could be like, all right, well, I'm not really feeling that. Let me not pick that up anymore. Like I did for I don't know, whatever book. If it's a subscription, I'd be pulling a Sean constantly.
Yeah.
I'd be wearing a barrel right now.
That's where my issue is. I end up subscribing to certain books, but they're books that I haven't touched in a while. Saga's that right now for me. It's just years that I haven't read it, but I'm gonna catch up at some point.
I caught up like 2 months ago.
Oh, did you?
It still has that Saga charm.
Ah, damn.
You know? It's not as big. Oh, it kind of is. It's still damn good though. I caught up on Snot Girl last week, and guess what?
I got
just as good, man.
Damn.
It's just as good.
I have the first trade so that I could try to refresh my memory, and then I'm gonna try to keep going forward.
There was a bit in Snot Girl where they mentioned like Tic Tac, like their version of TikTok. It's like that didn't even exist when this book last was coming out. That wasn't even a thing that happened.
The world has changed, and so has Snot Girl. She's adapted.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait for Sean because we don't even know what his stack is.
He doesn't tell us before the show, and we ask.
No, yeah, it's a mystery. All right. Okay, well, there he is. There.
Oh, there
she
it is. There we go.
Sorry about that. My computer died, as it is wont to do.
Real quick, Sean, did you like X-Men: Age of Revelation? Number 0.
It was my pick of the week.
Okay, it wasn't a scroll then, guys. All right. I was just double checking.
Shit was awesome, man. All right. Let's just get the numbers and get out of here. That crash stole my
Oh.
mood. Anybody want to rattle off the numbers?
Oh,
we
I
did
did
already. We
earlier.
did already,
You
yeah.
must have frozen when I did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
You're
Yeah.
so stoic sometimes, Sean. I think you're frozen. So now I never
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
know if you are frozen or not.
I finished the numbers and then you crashed.
Oh wow! I actually crashed way before, but
Wow. Yeah.
because I never.
No, I
yeah,
thought
I
Sean
never
was just
even
being
heard that.
Sean.
I think the last thing I heard was you asking Tyler about his shirt. All right, let's get into it then. Gotham City Sirens Unfit for Orbit number 3.
Desperados in that. Yeah.
Superman Unlimited number 3. Blood and Thunder number 3. G.I. Joe number 9.
Oh.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 10. This Ends Tonight number 1.
Oh, fuck. I didn't get that.
Dude.
I'm going to buy it digitally. I'll get it digitally.
We might
Wait,
have it
did
in
you
the
buy your
drive.
pulls physically this week?
No.
Okay. Tin Can Society number 7. I can't wait to read this book. Ultimate Black Panther 18. Giant Size House of M number 1. They Choose Violence number 2. And Red Coat number 13.
That's 11 plus the 6 we had? No,
6
5.
because no, it would be 6 because we had 7 on the docket this week.
Okay.
So we're looking at 17.
Yeah, 17.
Sean looks dubious on this.
Herm.
That seems wrong.
How is that? So we had 7 for the show, but you didn't get one of them. So that would be 6 that you would have.
Right, plus the 11.
Wow. I thought
You thought
I
you
could
went
have
way
sworn
overboard?
there was a book I bought multiple variants of this week, but I think that must have happened in a dream.
What is going
I
on,
thought-
Sean?
I don't know. I thought I bought multiple copies of one of these
Sean's
books.
having his
I
own
really
Mulholland
wanted the
Drive
variant.
moment. Jeez.
Apparently. So what was the number?
I got 17.
17.
Count it out. Count it out.
Wait, what was the dream,
17.
Sean? What book do you think you bought multiple of?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know.
Did you
Because
get
I even
Nightwing?
said earlier I made a mistake, and I thought that was the mistake, but I guess I was dreaming.
Did you pick up Nightwing?
No,
Okay.
no. I didn't pick up Nightwing. I didn't pick up Detective.
Oh, are these droppings?
Oh, I missed Batman and Robin Year 1, number 9. Those I think are dropped. I think Nightwing and
Wow,
Detective
okay.
are dropped.
Did you
It
pick up?
sucks.
Did you get Jason Todd?
Hell no. That was
Okay.
deliberate.
That's a Pal's Pulse number 1.
That was that's the one I got. The winner is Patrick Zay with 17, right on the
Nice.
nose.
Good job, Patrick. You know me so well.
Oh, James Jones had that. Also had that, but was second to pull the trigger on it. So, would have won, bud.
Did I get Ghost Pepper, Chris? No, I didn't.
I picked up Ghost
I
Pepper.
just-
So once
Did
issue
you-
2 comes
yeah.
around, I'll let you know what it's like on Pal's previews.
Cool. Sean, dreaming of going to the LCS and spending too much money. It's my life. It's my life.
Is it
It's
a
the
dream
life
or a
I'm
nightmare?
living. Depends on your perspective.
What else happened in this
Um,
dream? Was it a comically long receipt? Did the cashier turn around and she had a monster face?
No,
Man.
no, that's the only thing I remember.
The nightmare is walking up to the last book, and it's like you can see the smear of like somebody's finger on it.
Somebody's Sbarro pizza Times Square smear?
Yeah, yeah, their fingerprints fucking on it.
Dude, oh, fuck.
Somebody was just digging in their butt on the steps on the way up. There's been a surge of the term digging in your butt on the internet lately, and I think it is hilarious.
I don't know, bud. That's a search algorithm issue.
Word, I'm not seeing it.
I'm also way more online than you guys are in certain realms.
Oh, you said it.
We got
Entertain me with the $5. No Red Sonja Noir, Sean. You missed out on some spicy woman on woman under the sheets action. Letting go of the freaky stuff. Cool. You know, Red Sonja Noir was funny. I had it in my hands and I put it down. And the reason is a little goofy. The reason is because it's called Red Sonja Noir, but on the cover she looked like Chibi to me. And I was like, wait, this doesn't match. I'm putting this down.
Yeah, noir is a genre, guys. It is not a nickname for a black and white book. Let's stop this.
Oh, I would have thought it was a black and white book.
That's what it is, but that's not what it should be. Noir should be. I want Red Sonja as a detective.
I was confused. Like, what Red Sonja Noir? What the fuck is this gonna be? Like, it's just more Red Sonja shit, which is great, but
Apparently, it was just some HLA, as old WWE Raw fans would know.
which there's nothing wrong with. But
A
that's
hot
not enough to
lady
get me to buy a
action.
book.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Steve Canaris. Is that
Sabaro
waist-
still exists.
Yeah. Is there one in Midtown? No.
Yeah, there's one.
I don't-
prominent in Times Square. Yeah.
Still?
Yeah, it's where all the tourists go.
Are you
wow.
positive it's still there?
33rd and
God,
2nd
yeah.
and 7th.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's,
by the
it's a small
Macy's.
one. Yeah, it's on the corner. That's where you go, and then you get accosted by a monk right outside.
Love those monks.
Fucking hate those monks, dude. Oh my god. I saw that. I saw a monk the other day talking up some dude, and I very nearly yelled out, "Don't listen to that fucking liar." I hate those monks.
They just need you to sign off. Sign off your donation. What's it gonna be?
Wow. Wow. Mothman says noir just means black in French. It's no big deal to me. Yeah. Yes. Okay. But still, when you say that in relationship to Red Sonja, what makes that materially different? Like, when you hear that, what do you think? Does adding the word noir to Red Sonja make you want it? Because I like my Red Sonja having red hair. So, like, what does that tell you about the book? It didn't tell me shit. That's why I put it down. I didn't know what that was supposed to mean.
Red hair. That's the issue, is that she no longer has the flowing ginger hair.
Electric says, "Man, whenever I see people in the shop and they lick their fingers to flick the pages, I wish I had a red flag to wave around. That's vile. 2020 happened, guys. We got to stop doing the licking of the fingers. Unless, you know."
Oh,
Dude.
Cheeto fingers.
Sure. Yep. That's what I was getting at. Thanks, Marco. Yep.
Congratulations, Patrick. Yeah, people are disgusting, Electrics. That's just, we know that. We know that very well around these parts, which is why I always hope that you guys listen to me when I tell you, make sure you follow the etiquette of the LCS, or else you know what is awaiting you. This right here, this red flag.
Wow, that's a good video idea.
You need to get a gun.
LCS etiquette.
You need like a
I need a gun.
Joker-esque
Yeah, you're
gun.
right, I do.
No, like a Joker gun, but it just shoots a red flag out.
Yeah, see, the problem comes up when you're in a store and you pull out a gun. For
It's
any
America, baby.
reason, it's a little bit of a problem.
We'll
And
give it a little
I
orange
have
tip.
police have a certain bias against me. I wonder what it could be. They're not going to think that's a funny joke. You could do
Yeah,
that.
that's true. That's true. The cops do hate podcasters.
No. You could do that. I cannot do that. I can't. It was in color. What?
You picked
What?
up the special black and white issue? What?
Entertain Me says it was in color. You picked up the special black and white issue. So Red Sonja Noir is in color. So what does the word noir mean in the title? That's what I'm trying to ascertain. Kuitsu says the red flag has retired and returned more times than Terry Funk. I appreciate the wrestling joke. And you know what? You're right. You're right. I was tired of it. I didn't care about it, but it keeps being brought up. So I'm gonna fucking throw it out there again.
Lucas says there's an 80-year-old who stands in front of the new bookshelf at my shop and reads everything. I say, "Excuse me?" He said, "Give me a second. I fought a Nam. Wait your turn." That's crazy.
If that's the case, just say, Fire in the hole. No, don't do that. Don't trigger PTSD.
Yo, Lucas, how do you deal with that? Do I need to make an appearance at your LCF? Do you need a sheriff? Don't you live in upstate New York, Lucas?
You gotta. One strong cough might end it. Just saying.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Flu season.
Wow. See, you got to handle that. You got to handle that.
The
Can't
cough?
let that happen, Lucas. No, the 80-year-old.
Oh.
Don't let
Yeah.
anybody stand in
He's
your way.
okay, and he's also reading the books. Like he's just not buying. This is his library, his personal library. What's the shop
That's
owner
rude.
doing? Kick the guy's ass out.
People do that all the time in my LCS.
You're that's more of a touristy destination, I feel, where it's not acceptable, but it's I can see it happening. A mom and pop shop in the middle of, a nice town. Kick the guy's ass out.
Tell him purchase it.
Tell him use
Listen,
that
you
social
can't
security
buy-
check.
What? Oh.
Lucas, I'm on the way. All right. You want it handled? I'm on the way. Let's do it.
He got the feeding bag on his steed right now.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Saturday is a big show. There's so much to talk about on Saturday. We are going to be getting into Absolute Evil, DCKO, Ultimate Endgame, all these things that were announced this week ahead of San Diego Comic-Con. We are going to talk about. We're going to dive into all these announcements and make sure that you all know about the big things that are happening in the comic book world as we march on to what is going to be a massive fall season for comics. We've got you covered with all the news you need to know. Hit the like button on your way out of here. We will see you right here on this channel at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys.